The cloud was designed in 2013 by Japanese architect So Fujimoto for the Serpentine Gallery Pavilion in London. In 2016, the pavilion was transferred in Tirana. Occupying some 350 square meters of lawn, the delicate structure has a semi-transparent appearance that allows it to blend cloud-like into the surrounding landscape. The cloud is inspired by the concept that geometry and constructed forms can merge with the natural and the human. The structure is a flexible, multi-purpose social space where the walls, the seats, and the roofs are constructed with the same fine steel bars. The irregular structure of the cloud, with walls that sometimes are thick and sometimes transparent, protects the visitors from the elements while allowing them to remain part of the landscape and find their favorite spots inside or around the installation. Kaplan Pasha's shrine was built around 1820 to 1830 and at the time was part of the complex of monumental tombs of Tirana's first mosque, destroyed during the First World War. The shrine was built on Kaplan Pasha's grave, one of the rulers of the time, whose remains were later displaced to Istanbul. Built with engraved stones, the shrine has an 8-page plan and is 4 meters high. The 8 classical columns of the structure are grounded on a low base and are tied up by 8 arcs decorated with acanthus leaves. The wall in the arcade ends flat and with a framework, which supports the opinion that in the past the tomb might have been covered with a roof. Lake Bovilla is one of Tirana's most important destinations when it comes to outdoor activities and adventure tourism. Located 14 kilometers from Tirana, the lake has a surface of 4.6 kilometers squared and is formed by a dam built at the entrance of the canyon of Turkuza River with the purpose of supplying the city with water. The two 1,200 meters tall mountains between which the dam is built, along with the lake, offer a breathtaking view to the visitors. Although swimming in the lake is not allowed, you can do a lot of other sports activities. Cycling enthusiasts can practice mountain biking, while those who want more adrenaline can try one of the itineraries for hiking, trekking, or climbing. If you think you cannot make it, don't worry, because itineraries have different degrees of difficulty. The Dushmorte Kombit Boulevard stretches about 1.3 kilometers from the Mother Teresa Square to Skanderbeg Square. It was designed by architect Gerardo Bossio and was built in 1939 to 1941 during the Italian occupation of Albania. The boulevard preserves to this day some important landmarks of the influence of Italian architecture in Albania. Along the boulevard are the most important government buildings, as well as a number of other important buildings. There is situated the Presidency, built in 1959 as the Soviet Embassy, the Prime Ministry, built in 1941 as the Palace of Lugo Sentence, the Palace of Congresses, built in the 1980s, the Parliament, the Pyramid, the National Gallery of Arts, and the Complex of Ministries near Skanderbeg Square. During communism, the afternoon tour of the boulevard, the famous Giro, has been one of the main activities of Tirana residents, a custom that neither today's visitors can escape. The Cyclops Eye is one of the newly discovered attractions of rural Tirana that, thanks to social media, is attracting more and more visitors. It is located in the Erzen Valley, about 4 kilometers from the village of Krab. Getting there is a bit difficult since from Kraba you have to walk about 1 hour through a narrow path. But once you arrive, you will understand that it is well worth the effort. The Cyclops Eye is a natural pool or even well with a width of 20 meters and a depth of 120 meters. At the end, there is a small heart-shaped lake with emerald waters. The streams there have created small cataracts that, together with the rock formations and the water basins that resemble open pools, create a truly fabulous view. Offering a combination of mountain climbing with the possibility to dive into the emerald waters, the Cyclops Eye is a must-visit attraction. The Cave of Polumbas, or as locals know it, the Dark Cave, is one of the only 6 karst caves in Europe. In addition to its stunning natural beauty, the cave is also of great historical importance to Albania, as archaeologists have found remains of the human culture of the Paleolithic period in it. It is thought that about 30,000 years ago, the cave has been inhabited. The cave is 360 meters long, about 15 meters wide, and 45 meters high. Stalactites, stalagmites, and microforms of underground karst relief filling the cave offer a unique opportunity to look closely at the impressive forms that nature has created over the centuries. Daiti Mountain is located about 26 kilometers east of Tirana and reaches a maximum height of 1,613 meters. The national park of about 30,000 hectares offers endless opportunities for outdoor activities. You can go there by car, but the journey will be impressive through Daiti Express, the cable car that connects the park with Tirana. At the park, you can enjoy a stroll through the forest or the breathtaking view of Tirana from the Daiti balcony, a terrace 2 kilometers long formed thousands of years ago by the activity of sea waves. The sporty types can experience trekking itineraries or bicycle paths. As regards to the adrenaline lovers, the adventure park offers wide opportunities for exciting experiences. Named after Albania's national hero in 1937, Skanderbeg Square is Tirana's main square. Conceived as a roundabout in the 1930s, it underwent many changes during communism. The old town hall was abolished to be replaced by the National Museum. On the old bazaar was built the Opera House, and where the Orthodox Cathedral stood was built Hotel Tirana. In 1968, the statue of Skanderbeg was erected and several water fountains were constructed as well. With the death of Enver Hoxha, a giant statue of him was placed in the center of the square, which was brought down by protesters in 1991. In 2017, the square was totally reconstructed. With a surface of 40,000 square meters, it is paved with stones from all parts of Albania. It has the shape of a pyramid that culminates in the place where Enver Hoxha's statue stood. A single person has the opportunity to stand on top of it and feel as the owner of the square, while the surrounding buildings sink in the horizon. The new bazaar is one of Tirana's newest attractions that has recently been transformed from a market into a space that has much to offer. It is located in one of the oldest neighborhoods of Tirana and was built in 1931. With the destruction of the old bazaar in 1959, the new bazaar remained for a long time the only place in Tirana where meat, fish, fruits and vegetables were traded. After the collapse of communism, the bazaar kept its function even though its structure degraded. Thanks to the 2017 reconstruction, the new bazaar is now the jewel of Tirana. It is compounded by the meat and fish market, which preserves the elements of the 30s construction, the green market, whose glass roof resembles the skyline of Tirana's mountains, as well as the recreational square, where numerous fairs and cultural activities are held. Mother Teresa Square is one of the most popular places in Tirana, especially during the warm days of the year, where the stairs surrounding it are crowded by youngsters. In addition, there are many concerts, fairs, and other events that take place in the square. The square was designed by the Italian architect Gerardo Bossio and was built along with the boulevard during the Italian occupation of Albania between 1939 to 1941. Situated at the western end of the Dëshmorët e Kombit Boulevard, there are a number of important buildings located at the square, such as the University of Arts, the Polytechnic University of Tirana, the University of Tirana, the Archaeological Museum, and the Center for Albanology Studies. After the fall of the communism, the square was named after the missionary, Nobel Peace Prize laureate, and Albanian Catholic saint, Mother Teresa. The Grand Park of the Lake of Tirana is one of the most frequented areas of the capital. With a total area of 1,569,337 square meters, it is considered as the lung of Tirana. The artificial lake of the park and the 400-meter-long dam was built with voluntary work in the 1950s, and the surface of water is about 450,000 square meters. A variety of recreational activities are offered to park visitors. Families can stroll or have a picnic into the green. Kids can play in the biggest playground in Tirana. Sport enthusiasts can have a canoe trip, run or ride on dedicated lanes, work out in the open-air gyms, or even play football and rugby. If you're into cultural events, don't miss the chance to enjoy a concert at the open-air amphitheater. The object known as the Mosaic of Tirana is the only archaeological monument within the city of Tirana. It was accidentally discovered in 1972 during the construction work of a residential complex, whose buildings still surround the monument. In addition to the mosaic floor, during the excavations, experts unearthed also walls, brick fragments, tiles, and pottery pieces, which proves that the archaeological remnants belonged to a Roman rural villa, or villa rustica, built in the 1st century AD. It is thought that during the 3rd century AD, the villa was transformed into a Paleo-Christian church. The motifs that dominate the mosaic are the geometric and the floral motifs, such as the triangles, the rosettes, and stylized braids. While in what is considered to have been the main part of the church, one can notice the symbol of the fish, the 2-strand braid, and the cross. Located in the very heart of Tirana, the clock tower is one of the most popular symbols of the capital. Its construction began in 1822, and initially it was about 30 meters tall. Until 1928, it was a bell tower equipped with only a turret clock and a bell which was rung every hour. In 1928, it was reconstructed and the bell mechanism was replaced by the clock faces, and the tower, now 35 meters high, took the look that it still has today. Architecturally, the clock tower embodies the history of Albania, where the lower half is made of stones and belongs to the Ottoman style, while the dome and its balcony belong to the Western style. Although since 1970 it is no longer the tallest building in Tirana, the clock tower continues to offer a breathtaking view to every visitor that climbs its 90 stairs. The Castle of Tirana is a field fortification with a rectangular plan. The constructions preserved in some of the towers and surrounding walls indicate that the fortress could have been built in the early Byzantine period, 4th to 6th century, as part of the fortifications built in New Epirus by the Emperor Justinian. The surrounding walls that can be seen today are new constructions built by Ahmet Pasha Bargini in the last decade of the 18th century. Inside the castle, there are several traditional houses in which used to live the then rulers of Tirana, such as the Bargini family or the Toptani family, which from 1798 ruled the castle and the city of Tirana. Today, in addition to the walls, visitors have the opportunity to watch the new castle trails discovered during the reconstruction of the Murad Toptani Street. The block is the main entertainment destination for the youth of Tirana. Though a small neighborhood, its narrow streets filled with shops, boutiques, cafes, restaurants, pubs, bars, and clubs make the block a never-sleeping place. The development of the area started in the 1930s as the residential area of rich Italian and Albanian traders. During communism, the villas were sequestrated and became residences of the members of Politburo, and thus the block was transformed into a restricted area guarded by armed soldiers. With the fall of communism, the area's development boomed and the block quickly became a neighborhood for everyone. From the early hours of the morning until late at night, the narrow streets of the block buzz over the crowds of youngsters. Either if you visit at day or at night, the block will provide you with a unique opportunity to wander between the communist past and fancy cocktails.